Hello, Aquarius, and welcome back to Deku Tarot and to your 2020 to 2021 yearly tarot and astrology. Here we are. I can't believe it's the year 2020. Crazy. It's going to be a big one. We're going to talk about the astrology, just hitting the major points for the year. And there are quite a few major points. There's 6 eclipses, and if you thought 2019 was wild, get ready for 2020. We are then going to pull a card for each month of the year with my Ethereal Visions deck, which I was really called to use for you guys, even though I use the Rider-Waite for every other sign. It was just like, no, we need to use this. And so then we're going to use the Rider-Waite actually instead for your overall energy card for the year, or your overall theme for 2020. So I'm really excited for this. I think it's going to be an interesting, if not good, year for you guys. I'm going to shuffle this deck up and we're going to talk about the astrology. So again, this is for Aquarius Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus. If it resonates, in terms of the tarot, take it. If it doesn't, it's not for you. Check out the monthlies as well as the dailies, and make sure to subscribe and share the video if you guys enjoyed it. I also love to see your comments and likes. I really appreciate it, guys. And again, if you ever want to book a private reading, all that info will always be in the description box below this video. So Aquarius, let's shuffle this up and talk about the year in astrology. January 10th, we have that lunar eclipse, full moon in Cancer. I did do a video on that, and I usually do videos on full, new moons, and definitely eclipses, so always keep an eye out for those throughout the year. It's in the North Node in Cancer, like I said, so it's pulling in this energy, and eclipses pull in energy for the next 6 months, or, take out energy, depending on what it is. But eclipses, that energy sticks around for 6 months from when, that eclipse hits. So this is happening in your 6th house here in terms of work, your daily routine, your physical, your health. So you're going to want to nurture and care for yourself in these areas. You really want to love yourself and what you do, and that's going to be a big theme again for that 6 months ahead. Also on January 10th, we have Uranus going direct in Taurus, and I did do a video on that a while back, so check that out, because that is a really important transit that is going to be making a lot of huge changes throughout the entire world and in our lives, and it's going to hit all of us in big ways. I did, again, like I said, I did a video on that, and the last time that this happened, we had World War II, and the time before that, every time Uranus in Taurus has been around, it's been absolutely shocking and changes. And with some of the conjunctions this year, I do think we're going to see some huge global changes and huge karmic global changes in the structure of the world. So on January 12th, we have the Saturn-Pluto conjunction, which just happened. I'm reading this maybe a day or so after, and it happened at 22 degrees in Capricorn. I know a lot of people have been talking about this, and I would recommend that you look into it if you haven't already. It's going to be hitting you in your 12th house of spirituality and strength here. So how you can heal yourself for good in your spirituality, how you can heal yourself for good in these deeper, more profound areas of your life here that, you're going to be digging deep and really looking at these areas of what you believe and who you are. So you can connect a lot more, again, to spirit, to your higher self, to the higher realms more intensely and better at this time. So use that. And again, that's going to be huge for you. And this conjunction lasts for about two and a half years, and it happens every 33, 38 years. And it's kind of this big global Saturn return because, again, like I said, both Saturn and Pluto rule karma, or, have to do with karma, where Saturn is this lord of karma, Greek god, Kronos here, which is very structural. The skeleton in which things are built around comes together with, Pluto, which is Hades, the enactor of karma, the implosive and transformative energy here, the phoenix rising. So it's really coming together to make to bring these huge undertones, honestly, of judgment after this 4-decade-long planetary cycle. And it's going to be very big. So expect some big changes, big rolling long-term changes coming through with that. I almost skipped ahead too far there. April 4th, June 30th, and November 12th are really lucky dates, so mark your calendar. Jupiter is conjuncting Pluto on these days. So Jupiter, which is luck and expansion, and Pluto, which is change and karma, are coming together here, and ideas and opportunities to do work, to work smarter and not harder are coming up for you guys. Changes in the spiritual realm and self as well. You're going to be making changes in the real world and really perfect who you are from the inside out. The changes, what did I write here? Sorry. Make changes in real life to reflect who you are inside. I'm sorry. Sometimes I write all down my astrology notes down, and I do not have the best handwriting. May 5th, we have the nodes changing, the North and the South node. The North node goes into Gemini, the South into Sagittarius. So the North node focuses on information that we can accumulate. And with it being in Gemini, you're going to be focusing on what you're doing, how you're utilizing yourself with what you know. The South node is, what you're wanting to let go of, release, step away from. So you're going to be releasing, what you used to believe in terms of belief in spirituality, and really changing yourself from the inside out in those areas of spirituality, of what you're learning, what you know now versus what you used to know, and how that changes your viewpoint on it, how it changes your beliefs, and what you're going to believe moving forward. So that's pretty big. On May 13th through June 25th, we have the Venus retrograde in Gemini, and it's going to be in your 5th house of romance relationships. So this is really not a good time to start relationships. You're going to want people in relationships, things that as soon as it's done, you're going to be like, why am I in this, or why did I do that? It's a terrible time to commit. It's a terrible time to do these things, unless obviously you have like a wedding scheduled for this that you've had scheduled for years. I would recommend not jumping into things and not committing and not doing any huge ceremonies, making big decisions based on what you love and where your heart is taking you during that time. June 5th, we have the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius in your 11th house of hopes and dreams. So you want to be listening to spirit and really making your dreams come true for that next 6 months forward. June 21st, we have the solar eclipse, new moon in Cancer in your 6th house of work, your daily routine, your health, your body. So the universe is going to be guiding you again in these areas and allowing you to release what doesn't serve you and move into what is good for you, what nurtures you, with it being Cancer, and how to nurture yourself more, and also again living a daily routine in terms of work, health, that is best physically and health wise for you, mentally, all of that stuff. July 5th, we have a lunar eclipse full moon in Capricorn in your 12th house of spirituality. So a lot of spiritual dreams are going to be put into your practical action here. You're going to need to you're definitely, with all this Capricorn energy, to do the legwork. Never think that when things are in Capricorn, it's not going to ask you to do the legwork, because it will. To take your ideas and beliefs to the next level, though. November 30th, we have a lunar eclipse full moon in Gemini in your 5th house of romance relationships. So you're going to be looking at and really realizing your hopes and dreams and what you want in terms of love, and what's really best for you in relationships and for a partner. December 14th, total solar eclipse, a new moon in Sagittarius in your 11th house. Excuse me, let me get a little bit of coffee. So that total solar eclipse, new moon in Sagittarius in your 11th house. So you're going to be moving forward and pulling in this energy in this area to realize your hopes and dreams in terms of the communities you're in, your love, your relationships, your friendships, the things that you want to be a part of and that you want to define you or not to define you. December 21st, we have the Great Conjunction, which I'm sure a lot of people have been talking about, even though it's pretty far off right now. And this is going to be really big, and this is why I brought up the Uranus and Taurus thing as well as the other conjunctions, because this is a very powerful time astrologically stepping into this new decade, and I do think we're about to have a huge shift. And if you're not ready for it and not open to seeing things in a more humanitarian and growth towards a better way of treating each other and on a global scale kind of way, it's going to leave you behind and you're not going to be very happy. So anyways, this is Jupiter and Saturn conjuncting. They conjunct every 20 years. The last time they did it was 9/11. The time before that, the AIDS crisis, etc., etc. So huge things happened on those years. So don't think nothing's going to happen here as we go into 2021. It's going to really test humanity and society, and hopefully it will bring us, because it has a lot of your signs energy into it, into this more humanitarian place, for people. All right, so let me move these, all the little stones I put on my notes over here, and we're going to get into your tarot, okay? So let's pull a card for your overall energy or overall theme for 2020, Aquarius. And, I know some people aren't into the astrology, but I do think it's really important, especially in this year and as we enter this new decade. Wow. Let's see what comes out for you. We almost got a card up, but then it went back in and I lost it. So Love is definitely going to be, equal love and equal partnership is going to be on your mind for sure throughout this year. As well as, do I believe in what I'm doing? Weird messages. But I always keep myself really open, and I meditate before the yearly reads to like really allow anything that needs to come through. So messages that someone needed to hear. All right. Why aren't we getting one yet? Your overall theme for 2020, Aquarius. Overall theme for 2020, Aquarius, Sun, and Moon. And Rising. Okay. You're becoming your star self. I mean, this is your card that showed up in this year. You and Capricorn, I think, are going to have maybe the most lucky years. Of 2020. Like, you guys are going to be the luckiest in terms of things happening and situations unfolding, what you're understanding about yourself and the world around you and who you want to be. So the star comes up, and when this card, the card that represents you in the major arcana, shows up right side up as your overall theme of the year, I mean, this is nothing to sniff at. This is some really big news. This feels incredible. You're stepping into your highest self, and we're going to pull the cards now and see what is, we can get a little deeper at that throughout month to month here. But you're getting to this really balanced, this is who I am, and I'm happy with who I am. And I think spiritually, you guys are going to become extremely balanced, and it's going to seep through to the outer world. Because for me as a reader, the star has always kind of been your spiritual connectedness and, balance, being in alignment with your spiritual self and growth there is always going to feed and nurture and bring abundance into your outer world, change you from the inside out in a really positive way. So I'm really just loving that. Okay, so let's see what January brings for you. January 2020, Aquarius. January 2020 for Aquarius. Okay, well, February 2020, the theme of February 2020 for Aquarius. March 2020 for Aquarius. Theme of March 2020 for Aquarius. Oh, okay. Well, this is the one that knocked the rest of them down. Okay. April 2020 for Aquarius. Okay. May 2020 for Aquarius. Let me just move these cards are a little bit bigger. All right, May 2020 for Aquarius. Okay. June 2020 for Aquarius. Oh. July 2020 for Aquarius. August 2020 for Aquarius. Oh my, there we go. Way over there. Under the desk. September 2020 for Aquarius. Okay. October 2020 for Aquarius. The theme of October 2020. November 2020 for Aquarius. December 2020 for Aquarius. Okay, I like that end. Well, it's definitely quite the year ahead. So we're starting it off here with the Queen of Cups reversed. Cannot say that's my favorite position because it's very, I don't know, whenever I get a queen reversed, especially, I don't know, any queen reversed really, but I kind of get a sense of vanity and delusion here with Queen of Cups reversed. We could be dealing with somebody like that, a love situation that's a little bit off kilter, or again, we might be dipping into some emotions that are not really healthy for us here. You know, there's a lot of shallow and very self-satisfied energy here, but it's not trustworthy. There's something about this that I don't like, and I do want to pull some clarifiers for you. We're going to clarify. Clarify with the Muka deck. Okay. For January. And again, all the January readings are up, so you can go and check them out. You can always go and check out, no matter what time of year you're watching this, they'll usually be the monthly for that month up, so you can check that out, guys. Yeah. Okay. There's some type of separation here, and I think that emotionally you might have separated yourself from more grounded perspective. There's a lot of vanity and delusion here, and again, it could be that you're dealing with somebody like this and that you feel maybe that somebody has hurt you, especially emotionally. Maybe you feel somebody has, I don't know. It's interesting. There's two queens here. January could be a tough time in terms of feeling separated, either in terms of money, in terms of community, in terms of living the life that you really ultimately want to be living. It could be that you have the money, you have all this, the looks, everything else, but internally there is an emptiness. So be careful what you're doing or what you've wished for is a message that I get here in January, because internally it seems something is about whatever you're doing right now or whatever you're delving into emotionally, spiritually, or refusing to do so in those areas. It's eating away at you. And you might have deluded yourself to a point where we can have the money, the job, the looks, all this other great stuff, to the outside world it looks great, but internally, why do we feel that Five of Pentacles? So again, go check out your monthly reading. Again, I do a monthly read for every month. Check it out if you haven't already. Four of Pentacles reversed is February. Interesting. For me, the Four of Pentacles reversed removes the foundation here. We're willing to kind of let something go or loosen up our, what we've been holding on to for so long. We're willing to change in some aspect. Maybe it has a lot to do with, what is appearing as, oh my God, it's weird. I get a ringing in my ear as I'm saying this. Yeah, it definitely has to do with January if that just happened as I was saying that. So whatever that situation is in January, it does feel like you're letting it go. You've let go of that situation and you're now ready to kind of move on towards something more. You might have to let go of some material security. You might have to take a chance. You might have to upend something, leave behind a project or something that you built up to a certain point. But it feels worth it. Whatever you're doing, you could even be uprooting yourself, moving on to a new career or something like that. March, we get the Lovers reverse. We'll talk about that because that's an interesting placement and not really my favorite way to see that. When the Lovers is reversed, there's been frustration. There's been a lot of conflict. We might have felt like we've chosen wrong or that a choice wasn't in our favor here. So let's look at that with a couple of clarifiers there, because that's a big what's that kind of energy, Lovers reverse for March 29th. Almost said 2019, 2020 for Aquarius. They need to know about the theme of their month being the Lovers reverse for March 2020. The Tower. I see now. A decision was made. If you hadn't let go of something that had been eating away at you, something that continued to prove fruitless and left you no real stability, no real foundation to sit on, then it will crumble by then. Yep, that's definitely what it is, Ace of Swords. And a decision has to be made. Whether you like it or not, something has ended, a choice is no longer there. Something has kind of fallen away so that you can go towards something new, or you're ending something here. So again, if that's really devastating and it feels like it comes out of nowhere, something falls apart, something you can't do anymore, there's this moment of where things just seem to fall apart. Yes, but Ace of Swords moving towards that Nine of Cups to me signifies this is actually in your best interest. It's for the good. And so it could be, a good thing coming in here, or, because something didn't pan out, a decision, was made against you. Somebody, a love situation fell apart. You chose something that you felt was wrong, and it kind of, I don't know, everything seemed to fall apart here from some decision or lack of a decision, or again, a decision being taken from you with that Lovers reverse. But yeah, it feels like, bam, oh my God, I can't believe this just happened. I can't even, like, what the heck? It's an unforeseen catastrophe, a disruption here in your life, in your way of thinking and who you are. And now you're realizing, wow, I need to do what makes me truly happy internally. What gives me that Nine of Cups feeling? What gives me the satisfaction, the emotional fulfillment? What makes me feel fulfilled? Is this fulfilling? Not anymore. You're going to realize very quickly in the first few months here that if you've been living an unfulfilled life, or, you've been in a situation that isn't fulfilling in some aspect, it will eat away at you until it just implodes. All right, April, we get the Six of Pentacles. So that's things evening out for me, the lower echo of justice. But I really like this card. People could be helping you. You could find, a new community here that is, new friends, new community, new job. Six of Pentacles to me is, the equality, especially in material balance, getting what you paid, getting paid for the work that you're putting in. So you could be receiving new job offers, situations where it feels very equal, very balanced, and makes you just feel a lot better from where you were. May, we get the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is a card of juggling here. Juggling amidst change. It's harmony amidst change, but it also kind of signifies, what is not working for me anymore? What do I need to let go of? What do I need to drop? Because I'm going to be juggling here, but also, it doesn't always mean that. Sometimes I can feel like we're just trying to juggle our way back up into a more harmonious place, and, there's change happening. We have to juggle some things amidst change here. But then we get Judgment in June, which is why I kind of pause and say maybe we do still need to let something go. If you're still trying to hold on to this thing that you, for the first, especially 6-7 months of the year here, by the time we hit August, I'm going to tell you it's not going to be there. Sorry, June, July, it will be taken away from you. And it won't be a pretty ending. And I know that maybe at this point in the beginning, you're going to be like, oh, it's nothing. You're going to know what this toxic situation is that you keep deluding yourself about, because the Queen of Cups reverse is, again, very self-satisfied, delusional, and only looking at how this situation might, make her feel. It's a very greedy, negative energy that I just don't like. It's very vain. This makes me feel and look good, so I'm going to keep doing it, but it's not good for you, and it will shift. So I don't know if it's a person, a relationship, a job, some way of thinking and doing, I don't know. But again, check out your monthlies. We'll dive into it there. But whatever it does, it makes you feel good in a bad way. Judgment reverse. Judgment upright. Why am I saying reverse? This is where you're going to be asked to change. Something comes in to ask you to shift, asks you to let go of something, asks you, are you still who you were in the past, or have you learned a new lesson? As I say that, I feel like I'm choking. Aquarius, there's a lot of positive things that want to come in this year, but you have to be willing to let go and to change and to shift and to not be stubborn. And that's interesting that I get this vibe from you, but I feel like the stubbornness of Taurus has transferred onto, or just been shot out to other signs lately, because Uranus is in Taurus and they're just bring it, bro. I don't even care. Change me. And you guys are the very opposite about this all year. So if you find that you're coming up against some things that you don't want to face and that you don't want to change and that you think that you're 100% right about, it's time to start asking others what they think and feel, and maybe even getting some insight from an outside source, because your emotions are too tied up in this to see what's really going on. And I'm sorry that there's some tough messages coming through, because I love you guys, and I was hoping with this deck that it would be a really light, lovely year ahead, and it is. There's a lot of good stuff that wants to come in, but it's making you put in the legwork of letting the stuff go, and that's what's uncomfortable. So don't hate me. Don't shoot the messenger. Judgment, though, I love it. Bring out your dead. Let's change. Let's shift. Let's let go. There's an unfolding sense of purpose and growth here, and what you're willing to let go of here in May, June, in order to have what you need. Because July has you with the Five of Cups. You could be feeling really upset about what you've wasted your time on, or what you're now realizing you've wasted your time, energy, and especially emotions on. And you're not really seeing that you have all this good stuff coming in and that you can now kind of just take off and go in this direction or take on this opportunity, better things coming in. So there's a lot of good stuff that wants to come in, and there is equal opportunities. I mean, the Two Cups that are still there for me is always the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups was a card that I kind of saw popping out there for a hot second behind some of these cards. So love is in the mix, but you have to be willing to let go of relationships that you deem worthy when they're not. You have to be willing to not be vain and like, oh, well, they're really attractive and this situation's really attractive, or this job makes me money and it makes me look really good, and people are going to be like, wow, oh my God, like Aquarius looks amazing doing this, or amazing with this person, like, or amazing with this opportunity, when really it's not good for you. And you're going to realize at a later point, like, wow, I really sacrificed my own integrity and happiness and fulfillment for this situation that just proved to be this. But don't get focused on that, because when that drops away, it's really trying to show you that there are good things out there, that other things really do want to come in. August has you with the Page of Wands, and I love that. That's the essence of fire, of let's push on forward, fiery in a new direction. Where will I let my passions, what makes me happy, what drives me go? So August is going to have you chasing maybe some new paths of interest, new creative interests, writing. I mean, sometimes I just see this as just a very adventurous energy. Let's I've been through a lot here. Let's take a drive. Let's go on a trip. Let's head off in this direction very suddenly. It's very nice. September has you with another page here, Page of Cups. And that to me brings in that emotional quality. Once you start doing what's best for you and what you know is going to bring you passion, happiness, fulfillment, you have this other essence of love, of emotion, of learning more about your emotions. The Page of Cups is like really, he's still learning really about developing his emotional understanding of himself here. And I do feel like there's a really deep growth of understanding of who you are and who you're becoming this year. So it could be that, especially in terms of love, what do I look for in a partner? What do I really need? And how can I explore this more? So this is a lot of depth of understanding and growth in terms of the heart, in terms of love. The Hangman Reverse is October. Hangman Reverse is an interesting situation here where there could be a lot of egoism and opposition to, honestly, spiritual influence, but it still wants to come in so much, and it will come in this year. So you could be getting frustrated with what is coming in, or not appreciating some of the messages, not appreciating some of the guidance this year, but it is trying to get you to where you have really wanted to be this whole time, which is, again, a really wonderful, your dream life, your happiness, what actually fulfills you, rather than what is just crumbs that you're, imagining and playing up to be like a whole feast. You know what I mean? The Hangman Reversed is, if you haven't, it's time to pause and really look at a situation, really see it from others' perspectives, really see it from a different perspective here. To meditate, to really go into that, Neptunian place where we ask the questions and we really are willing to look for that solid ground, because we did see that Four of Pentacles reversed in February. So maybe something from around then is coming back up and you're seeing it from the perspective that you needed to see it from all along. Interesting. So we'll talk about that. The Hangman is very explorative, and when he's reversed, sometimes it can be that you've gone through the steps that you needed to start moving forward on a solid plane here. And for some of you, yes, that is, but for some of you, you need to work past that opposition to the spiritual influence, to the growth and direction that you can get from that. November, we have the Page of Swords. Page of Swords is a bit of a spying heart. I mean, it's not my favorite energy. It is, I want to know something. I'm going to find out no matter how. I might have to spy. I might have to, look behind the scenes. I might have to do some shady stuff here. It's not that shady, but it is, an energy of observing. And observing, what we need to do in order to take power in this situation, what we need to learn, how we can better our knowledge, how we can better communicate as well. It's also a lot about communication through digital for me. So it could be those areas that we're seeing grow and experience there, grow and expand, in November. But there's knowledge coming in, or knowledge being seen, or knowledge being looked at. You're observing and you want to know something. You want to learn something, you're looking into it. Or somebody, again, could be observing you. But this is mostly focused on you, not other people's energies. December, we get the Nine of Pentacles. I really like that because that is a satisfied, you know, healthy place to be. I have built my life up without anybody else. So your foundation is perfect. And then from the Nine of Pentacles, you go to the Ten of Pentacles where you get that family situation, the loved one, you know, the meat and the potatoes of a relationship, really, all of it. And it may not even just be a relationship. It could just be a job situation where you're finally getting, you know, the stability, the security, the money, the abundance, the yes, I'm finally in a place where I don't have to worry about this stuff anymore. You're building the life that you want, and you're going to be looking at, you know, what you've learned, what you've been through. You're going to be really happy that you did. There's a lot of contentment here and accomplishments that you're going to feel very good about, and you're going to be used to success and used to what work really does bring you, what hard work, what hard effort, what putting, you know, what doing the legwork really brings you. Is going to put you in a really great place by the end of 2020. So your messages for this year are really lovely, if not a little bit challenging, but I mean, with everything in Capricorn, we all get a little bit challenged. All right, I hope this was helpful, Aquarius. Again, check out your monthlies. Be sure to subscribe, guys. Be sure to hit that wiggly bell. It'll notify you when I go live or when I post up a reading. And you check me out over on Instagram if you want to book a private reading also. All that info is always right below this video in the description box. Have a wonderful and blessed year, my amazing Aquarians. Namaste.